I was 50-50 on actually making this video, as Update 231 itself doesn't bring us anything groundbreaking, although I have to admit it's wild how many updates we've had recently. Maybe the Payday 2 team are working towards a tightening 2023 deadline. I've heard there's something meant to be going on that year. In any case, whilst I will be covering the changes seen in 231 as well as the new outfits in the Street Smart Tailor Pack, you might have noticed by the title I'm predominantly looking further into the future, as this bundle looks like it could be the most game-changing DLC we've seen in years. Let's get into it. First up, the Tailor Pack, and the theme this time seems to be functional streetwear. It contains 3 outfits, all with 4 quite different variations, as well as 6 masks in total. Honestly, it's pretty amusing to me being able to dress up Jimmy as just some bloke from down the road. These outfits thrive on how kind of mundane they look. If you've got an ironic sense of humour, I'm sure you'll enjoy them. The Urbanite will have you dressing up as a character straight out of Tony Hawk Pro Skater. The Rough Streets is probably the only one an actual heister might be able to get away with on a casual day, rocking a sort of bomber jacket style in a good variety of colours, but apparently there's no pants on the Thunderbolt variant. Finally, the Invested outfit goes for a shirt and gilet combo, which honestly looks like something I might wear out. Now, forgive me for saying this, but I don't think I'm living the heisting fantasy, so forcing the badass Jimmy to dress up like me feels a little bit cruel. My preference is to rock the most outlandish and uncharacteristic outfits I possibly can in-game, which means these don't really hit the mark for me. I mean, you won't look quite as suspicious to passers-by, but a sharp suit or stylish trench coat would be my choice of heisting attire any day of the week. Fortunately, the masks, which are effectively hats these days, come in clutch here to save this DLC in my eyes. I'm a massive fan of the headwear and shades look, which was previously impossible to pull off. Effectively, we have 3 new masks, but Overkill have given them 2 colour variants, and I genuinely like them all. Good to see some experimentation with wider cosmetic styles. It's interesting, digging into the YouTube trailer for this DLC, you'll see it described as part of the Energy Crisis bundle. This was likely the initial name of the DLC pack, but the devs decided against it, seeing as half the world is currently suffering from their own, all too real energy crisis. Sadly, trying to follow the link just takes us to a 404 error, so nothing can really be gleaned from it as of yet. Moving on to the smaller free parts of this update, the in-game font has been changed slightly, apparently to make foreign language text more legible. This comes alongside a full Polish translation of the game. As with any subtle change, at first it will feel like Payday 2's been damaged irreparably by this change. Things just don't look quite right at the moment, and there are a few visual bugs caused as a result. Once they clean these up, I'm sure we'll barely register the change in a few weeks' time. Onto a more positive addition, Overkill continue to work on the game's accessibility options, allowing you to more tightly adjust your screen flash settings. We know in the last update they added the option to invert the flashbang colour, but that made taking damage pretty disorientating, so they're now allowing you to customise these colours as well, ranging from being able to turn off the damage flash, to black, and 3 shades of grey. Definitely good for my poor eyes. Other than this, there were a few much needed fixes to the Lost in Transit heist, as well as a small but meaningful buff to the shield marshal enemy. As I said at the start, Update 231 won't be blowing anyone away, but what you may have missed just might. Heading over to the Steam page for the Hostile Takeover, we get a ton of juicy information regarding the next few content updates. Coming next month, we get the McShay Mod Pack, a massive value adder for this bundle. Traditionally, mod packs have to be pretty good to actively turn any heads, and with 15 new mods on their way, I'm expecting meta fireworks. But even more excitingly, we now know that this bundle contains not only a new throwable, but also the first new deployable since FAKs in the armor bag. I'm talking about the first in around 8 years. Huge information. If I was asked to speculate what this new deployable equipment could be, I'd guess it'll actually be a new aggressive option for heisters. Remember, it's unlikely that they'll be adding new skills to release alongside it. I've seen people suggest a grenade case, but that feels like it'd be more likely to come in a free update and couldn't really compete with our other options. No, I'm almost certain it'll either be a new way to heal, for example a heal over time device, or it'll be something powerfully aggressive, possibly a portable version of the recently added mountable turrets. Releasing after that, on February the 1st, when Overkill comes back after the holidays, we'll be getting the 3rd McShay weapon pack featuring a new sniper, assault rifle and LMG, all of which come with their own exclusive sets. Then finally, far nearer than we've seen in the past, on the 22nd of February, the Hostile Takeover heist will launch. We already have a few heist and lore details for this one. I'm happy to see it'll be tied to the hidden enemy we were trying to identify in Midland Ranch, and will include a new character who operates above the slightly underwhelming Gemma McShay named Blaine Keegan. It'll be cool heading to Texas for an oil baron related heist, which leaves me almost convinced that Energy Crisis was a work in progress title for the mission. Great that the emphasis is already on player choice and objective order, something we've seen experimented with more and more in the post-White House DLCs. Overall, I'm seriously excited for the contents of this bundle to launch. It seems far higher stakes, and with the new throwable equipment in mind, will likely have a much greater impact on how Payday 2 is played. Roll on update 232, 231 feels like an appetizer for the additions to come. I'll see you all very soon. I've got a couple of massive projects on their way. A huge thank you to my dedicated Patreon backers. If you want to join this crew in going infamous, check out the link below and pledge as little as $2 to see your name in the credits, or get 24-hour early access to future videos and vote on upcoming content. Take care, I'll see you all soon.